Welcome back, students. Hope you all are fine. We are reading first chapter of science, that is nutrition in plants. Till now we have read about nutrition, mode of nutrition, photosynthesis and other modes of nutrition. Today we will read about how the nutrients are replenished in soil. So before starting our today's topic, I am giving you some questions that you have to do by your own. So here are your questions. You have to match the following. You have to match column first with the column second. I hope you all will be able to do it easily because we have read about all of these in the previous topics. First is stomata, second nitrogen, third mistletoe, which is a plant, then plants, insects, and in the column second, first is rhizobium, then autotrophs, after that pitcher plant, then leaf and parasite. So in case you have any difficulty, write it in the comment box. I will solve it. Now let us start our today's topic, that is how nutrients are replenished in the soil. How nutrients are replenished in the soil. Replenished in the soil. Means that how the nutrients are added back to the soil. Okay, all of you might have seen the farmers and the gardeners using manures or fertilizers in the farms or fields. You might have seen farmers or gardeners using fertilizers or manures So what do you think? Why do they use fertilizers or manure? As we all know that the plants continuously absorbs nutrients from the soil. The plants continuously absorbs nutrients from the soil for preparing their own food by the process of photosynthesis. As these nutrients are continuously absorbed, so the amount of the nutrients in the soil keeps on decreasing. The amount of nutrients in the soil keeps on decreasing. So, to increase their content or the amount in the soil, the farmers or gardeners use fertilizers or manures. If the soil is having proper nutrients, the plants grow healthy. That's why the nutrients or the fertilizers are added to the soil. Crop plants require a large amount of nitrogen. It absorbs a large amount of nitrogen from the soil, due to which the soil becomes deficient. The soils become deficient in nitrogen. It becomes deficient in nitrogen. So, for increasing the amount of nitrogen, the fertilizers are added. The fertilizers and manures, they contains nutrients and minerals. The fertilizers and the manures, they contains minerals and nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And these are very essential for the growth of a plant. If the plants will not get these nutrients, then they will not grow properly. We will not get a good yield of crops. So they should be replenished in the soil. The nitrogen is available in large amount in the atmosphere. It is available in the large amount in atmosphere. But we have read earlier that plants cannot absorb nitrogen gas from atmosphere. It cannot absorb nitrogen gas from atmosphere. Like it absorbs carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, but it cannot absorb nitrogen. It cannot absorb nitrogen gas from atmosphere. It needs nitrogen in a soluble form. It needs nitrogen in a soluble form. Soluble form means which can dissolve or which can mix with the water. So the bacteria called rhizobium, converts the atmospheric nitrogen gas. It converts atmospheric nitrogen gas into a usable form, means which can be absorbed by plants. The rhizobium bacteria converts nitrogen into a usable form. So this bacteria called rhizobium, it cannot prepare its own food. So it lives in the roots of the plants, where it lives in the root of leguminous plants. Like pea, gram, pulses, they are leguminous plants. So these bacteria lives in the roots of leguminous plants. They provide nitrogen to the plants. These bacteria provides nitrogen to the plants, and in return the plants provide them food and shelter. The plants provide them food and shelter. So the bacteria called rhizobium and the plants, they lives in a symbiotic relationship. That we have read in the earlier video. If you didn't understood, watch it again or write it in the comment box. So these bacteria called rhizobium, they converts atmospheric nitrogen gas into a usable form, means which can be used by the plants, that can be absorbed by the plants. And since the bacteria cannot prepare their own food, so the plants provide them food and shelter, and both of them lives in a symbiotic relationship, growing leguminous plants can reduce the use of nitrogenous fertilizers. Means if we will grow leguminous crops, then we don't have to use much of the fertilizers. So that is the benefit of the leguminous plants. That's why they are alternated with the crops like wheat and rice, because the wheat and rice needs a large amount of nitrogen. If we will keep on growing them continuously, so the nutrients will decrease in the soil, and afterwards the soil will lose its fertility. So to maintain the fertility of the soil and to make it more fertile, leguminous plants are grown. So that's all, students. The chapter is complete, and in this chapter we have read about nutrition, mode of nutrition, photosynthesis, other types of nutrition, and how the nutrients are replenished in the soil. That's all for today. Next chapter we will study in our next class. Thank you, students, for watching, and if there is any doubt, drop it in the comment box. Thank you.